Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
And I'm Dr. Leviathan.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta. Tonight we have The Blank Revolt, with a side order of Next Time You'll Know Better.
More like The Blank Revolting. I got nothing.
Fair enough. So for those of you just tuning in, welcome. Go Google Creepypasta. There's your description. So, The Blank Revolt was written by a guy named Hopefully Good Grammar, and has been read a couple of times on YouTube. You can check it out on Creepypasta.wiki for the actual story, and then the readings, the one I read or listened to was Mr.Creepypasta. So it starts off. It's a survivor of this blank revolt. Detailing the events that led up to the Earth's domination by mannequins.
Dude, you ruined the twist!
It's pretty obvious from the get-go.
Yeah, I know, but it's pretty obviously
never
supposed to be a twist.
Yeah, I know. That was hilarious.
He never uses the word mannequin.
Yeah, even though you know from the get-go, and from his description from where they are, that they're mannequins that we're dealing with. And these mannequins, like... by some unseen force or whatever, just start animating and start rebelling against humanity. And it takes us by surprise. They annihilate a huge chunk of humanity, and then even when we strike back, they start adapting and they start mutating.
Well, and the, military is completely useless against them.
Yeah.
Which is fucking dumb, but...
Yeah, there's a few things about it. And then the guy, he goes into detail about it. Essentially, it's like a Planet of the Apes kind of thing, where they...
Well, like a World War Z kind of
yeah,
thing.
okay, yeah, that works too. Where they've taken over the cities and stuff, so, there's, little, pockets of humanity, outside the cities. And he's decided, his group has dwindled down to barely nothing, so... He's just going to go back into the city and die with dignity. He finds his house untouched for the most part, including even they left his gun there, which I guess he didn't have time when the revolt happened to pick up his own weapon, but whatever. I'll buy that. And he's going to put away his misery by offing himself, because he's realized that they've won and stuff, and he even mentions that morning he looked down and saw.
I like how this is his plan to die with dignity.
Yeah, just saying. On his own terms.
But he says die with dignity. He doesn't say die on his own terms.
Yeah.
There is a difference between those two
I guess he had meant
wordings.
to go into the city and just die from the mannequins.
Then why go to the fucking place and why did he go home?
Yeah, I know.
And
So we already know your stance on this one. Yeah, and he mentions that they have mutated to become us and completely replace us. They're wearing our clothes. They're in our cities now, living in our cities legitimately. They actually have there's something. There's just this weird aberrant biology now to them, and so he's just the world of humanity is doomed because we didn't see mannequins coming, and that's at the end of the end of the story. He says well, what do you expect? They were mannequins. So I did enjoy this story for the most part. It's got creepy elements. It plays on the idea of mannequins are creepy and people find mannequins creepy because of the uncanny valley. I find mannequins and just
really,
yeah,
really,
yeah, not terrifying, but I find them unnerving.
So if I take you back into the girlfriend's fucking workspace,
oh yeah,
the mannequin there,
so
that unnerves you.
There's a little part of me that's just doesn't trust it. It's a legitimate fear.
No, it's not.
Have. Yes, it is.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, I mean,
I'm telling you, it's not a legitimate fear.
I mean, it's a legitimate fear in that people have it because of the uncanny valley.
No. Okay, you keep saying because of the Uncanny Valley. What the fuck is this?
Are you seriously don't know what the Uncanny Valley is?
Don't look at me with incredulity. You're the one who's afraid of fucking giant dolls.
I'm not afraid of them, but I get creeped out by them.
You're afraid of giant dolls.
Whatever. The Uncanny Valley is when somebody makes, like, it's when somebody sees a doll or a human-like object, like a doll, that's so close to humanity, but there's just enough of it wrong that it touches on, like, a primal thing in your brain that's like, that's wrong.
And this is called the Uncanny Valley?
Yeah.
Whatever. People will fucking name shit as long as they fucking exist.
I did enjoy the part of it being like the way the creatures we essentially went from having golems overrun the world or animated objects to them like evolving into these like horrible grotesque things.
They didn't evolve. They made new ones.
They made new ones, but then
that's
there was
not
like,
evolving. That's creating new things. That's constructs building constructs. There's a difference.
Yeah. All right.
A huge difference. Evolving implies that it's this group and they're metamorphosizing. Well, no, because that would be metamorphosizing. But they're like having progeny and.
Well, that's what's happening by the end. Like he shows that there's creatures.
Yes, but that's not what has been happening.
All right, fine.
What has been happening is that they've been building new ones, and the idea of pregnant ones. I'm sorry, I'm just going to assume that's just a mannequin from a maternity section.
I mean, maybe.
They don't have bits.
Yeah.
We all checked as a kid.
That is true. I like the author doesn't give us an example, like doesn't give us a reason why this is happening, but he does mention that like his character doesn't know why, which is like really wouldn't know why they're suddenly animated. And it kind of it gave me this like Lovecraftian, like they just are there. This force has just infected them, and now they're rising. It felt like it felt like a Doctor Who episode in some regards because while it has creepy elements to it, it felt more like a weird fiction thing because it's just so goddamn surreal. Like the whole idea of mannequins taking over the world, and it felt very like Doctor Who. The world starts reacting in this story in a very realistic way, and then the army just does not at all. Like, people reporting this in, like, they didn't want to report it because it's just too goddamn ridiculous. That's pretty realistic. Like especially, like, I mean, in the small cases and stuff like that. But then as it goes, like, really, fire didn't stop, like, firebombs and stuff didn't stop this, or weren't stopping these guys?
No, they said that firebombs were stopping. It's the bullets that weren't.
Yeah, the bullets
and
weren't.
And grenades are super effective, like...
And then, yeah, like, the government...
This is my problem.
Okay.
He doesn't... Well, okay, this is one of, like, 8 billion problems. He doesn't understand warfare.
No.
Grenades aren't super effective in general. They are, but you mostly get injuries out of them. You get casualties not through death, but through casualty, or through injury.
Yeah.
So... That's great against flesh and blood opponents.
But against
that has nothing like that. That's not going to do you sweet dick all when it's plastic and plaster and various other
and metal sometimes. Yeah,
like when they're constructs, it doesn't matter if you fucking stick 8 pieces of shrapnel in their leg. They're still going to keep walking.
Yeah,
because they don't have flesh and blood. They don't have pain. They don't have arteries that'll bleed out. Whereas, gunfire, you know what? Be it a mannequin head or a human head, I can destroy it with a little bit of gunfire.
Depending on what the material is, but yeah.
Well, as long as it's not bulletproof.
Yeah.
Which mannequins aren't.
No. Yeah, I mean, like, I think it was, like, more like when the bullets, like, fired, like, they were getting hit and just partially destroyed, but they weren't stopping because of pain or anything. They just kept coming at them.
Yeah, but you can... I'm just saying, it's going to be a more reliable method of destroying them...
Than grenades.
Grenades, you might destroy 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And, like...
It sounds like he's putting a little too much, like, merit into the concussive force of a grenade.
Yeah, the explosion isn't what kills in a grenade. Concussion. It's the
shrapnel
force and the shrapnel.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... it's more of a chaos weapon than, whereas, gunfire, fucking put holes in shit.
Yeah.
It's not, it's wrong. In this story, that is wrong. That's the simple way about it. Or the shortest way to say it.
Yeah.
I tried to give you an explanation, but you just look at me with disbelief still.
No.
Yes, you do. That's the look I'm seeing. Disbelief, like, you're an idiot.
So your expression every time I talk.
Yes.
Alright, cool.
And yet you keep talking.
Yeah. Funny that. So, yeah. The one issue I had mechanically for this was that the guy uses number, like the word for numbers, in a couple of sentences, and then also uses the number in a couple of sentences, or in the same sentence, which kind of got me. But otherwise, I didn't really say anything wrong mechanically. So
really, because we already mentioned it, he hides the fact that they're mannequins, but it's so
okay,
obvious.
Yeah, no, there is that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, there is that other one. Yeah.
There's honestly, there's so much wrong with this. Honestly, I think it would have genuinely been helped if he had have given a reason why the mannequins, started, whatchamacallit, being alive.
Mm-hmm. Being animated.
Like, I genuinely think that would have helped, maybe understanding the fact that we're not pushovers as a species, like, even in, like...
There's
a reason bears haven't taken us over. It's because we're better than them.
Like, the reason why Planet of the Apes worked, in the new movies anyways, because we got hit by a disease as well. So that's why they were slowly... that's why they took over.
Exactly. But yeah, I genuinely think that it would have been helped by that, by giving us a reason. Also, I think it would have been amusing... Because, okay, what's the difference between a mannequin and a Barbie doll?
Size.
Literally just size.
Yeah.
So why are the mannequins awake?
And not the dolls.
But the Barbies and the G.I. Joes aren't.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be terrible. It'd be like little soldiers
no,
small soldiers.
It would be like
just
even more.
Yeah.
Like, because
and
still got mannequins.
And small little things are creepy as well. Like, it also plays on that whole thing too.
Well, and they can get anywhere. Yada yada
Oh,
yada.
God.
Like, so honestly, that was probably, well, it wasn't really a gripe, but it was something that I saw and I was like, man, this would have been so much better if there had been tiny little action
if it was
figures.
Everything, like all animated, all like human-like figures popping up to life. No, I do like that idea. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's I don't know. I found nothing about this creepy at all.
Well, as we stated earlier, you don't get creeped out by mannequins.
Yeah, like, and again, it also just seemed like a complete ripoff of World War Z, whereas,
I saw,
except for the fact, basically all it does is replace zombies
with mannequins.
Now, here's the difference between zombies and mannequins. Zombies, their numbers grow
as we die.
As it spreads. Yeah, as they take us out, their numbers grow. Mannequins
have to build.
Are a finite number.
Yeah.
We will crush them. It will not be difficult.
Yeah.
Whereas, zombie takes out our soldier. Not only are we down a soldier, but they're up a foot soldier. Like...
Yeah, no, like I said, like, the beginning of this, like, had some realism in terms of, like, the reaction of people to it. But then the army part just made no sense. Because, like, why didn't the army just roll in and just start taking them out?
Yeah. I mean, literally vehicles.
Yeah.
It just... I don't care what vehicle it is, as long as it's got four wheels, because, I mean, a motorcycle isn't going to do you great when you try and run over a mannequin. But a fucking car, okay, maybe not a smart car, but, a car, a truck, SUV, fucking tank, APC.
Yeah.
You don't have to get out.
You just have to keep driving.
Like, a fucking tank.
Yeah.
A tank is virtually unstoppable in this. Because what are the mannequins going to do?
Hammer on it.
Hammer on it? Well,
That's
I'm
not
sorry,
gonna be
the armor plates are stronger than their fists, so they will literally destroy their own fists.
Yeah, because like the guy
Before
says
they do
that
any
they're-
damage.
The guy says that they're actually incredibly strong and fast, but they're still made of material that's not very durable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like we make
Like-
titanium mannequins.
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
a waste of a resource.
Like I could see them like being like really able of killing a person, like killing.
Oh,
people.
yeah.
But like taking out but even when he mentions like
As
people were
described
screaming in
here.
a car as they were like piling on the car and trying to break open the car, it's like they still wouldn't necessarily be able to get in from like the hood, maybe the windows, but that's about it.
Yeah. And, like...
They get it
there's,
with an APC or
there's nothing to say that they can't pick up a bat or anything.
yeah.
But, like, yeah, an APC or a fucking tank, or, even a fucking sedan just fucking rolling at high speed, you're gonna fucking take out a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
This is not, like...
But apparently they took the upper hand and brought us to our knees. So,
wow.
all right. Yeah, like I said,
Apparently call me when the fucking mannequins uprise.
Yeah.
And again, I have a huge problem with the fact that he avoids telling us that
What
they're
they are.
mannequins the whole time.
But
we know
get-go,
exactly what
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, from the get-go, we know exactly what it is, so it's not really a big twist or a big spoiler.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's the one thing that did annoy me when I read the first part, or when I read
Like,
it. I was
that's just...
okay, so we're definitely dealing with mannequins, but you're not saying that they're mannequins. Oh, okay, what do you expect? They're mannequins. Wow, that was not a good payoff.
Yeah, no.
At all.
It was... I mean,
their transformation from like what
it
they were
was
to what
the
they become.
village level of,
Yeah.
twist. And, yeah, we all saw it fucking coming. So, yeah, based on the fact that it basically calls humans retarded. Like, I'm sorry, just because the writer of this doesn't know how to take out a fucking army of mannequins doesn't mean that, people of above average intelligence don't know how to take out an army of mannequins.
Yeah.
Or people, people more intelligent than him. So, like, 80% of the world, if you don't know how to take out an army of... It's not a fucking difficult concept to take out an army of mannequins.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I mean, a mannequin might make you feel uneasy, but you know how to destroy one.
Yeah, in fact, I'd probably rather destroy it than run from it.
Exactly.
Because
the
it should
second you
not be.
turn your back on it, it's gonna fucking...
Scuttle right up to you.
Exactly. That's gonna be the fucking freaky part.
Or it'll just be, or you look away, look back, and it's suddenly right there without any movement, because it's one of those damn quantum things that move when you don't see it.
But yeah, it's... I don't know. I just... The entire time I was reading this story, I was just like, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Everything I read, I was just like, fuck you. I was like, oh, they're impersonating human voices? Are you going to explain to me how that happens? Because without an explanation, I can't buy it. They don't have vocal cords. Biologically speaking...
Yeah, no, I understand. Devil's advocate, though, it could just be fucking magic, or some supernatural force doing it.
But I'm not told that in any way.
True, but we are given the thing that he just doesn't know why this is happening.
Which I already said, in my opinion, this would be improved if we
were given an
had
explanation?
some sort of explanation. Or at least, like, throw out all of the ideas that, like, maybe, and then say, but we don't know.
Okay.
Like, give me something for my mind to go with to, like, if it's gonna be fucking magic,
Just straight up
lead
say,
me there a little bit.
Yeah.
Say, like, it could have been a fucking curse, some spell. Like, mannequins don't spontaneously wake up, but we just don't know how it happened. Okay, you mentioned magic, and then you said, but you don't know, but you got me thinking magic.
Yeah.
Like, fucking try and trick me.
Yeah.
Try and make me think what you want me to think. Don't say nothing. Because you say nothing, I come at it from every angle, and
none of them
the
work.
one that explains it the least is the one I'm going to grasp onto because I'm a dick. Because I want to poke holes in your shit. Because I'm an asshole.
And that's why you're on the show.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't try and make me think it was magic, so I don't fucking think it was magic. I think it's fucking biology. I think somehow they're alive. But they don't have vocal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, from a biological standpoint, it makes no goddamn sense.
I mean, their mouths don't even open.
Yeah.
Oh. You know, maybe they were using recording devices to impersonate us.
Yeah.
However,
They did not mention.
he wasn't saying anything about it, so I'm gonna go with no.
Very sassy today.
It's just, I don't know. This pasta's lazy. It's lazy because it should have had more in it. It should have had, you know, an explanation, or at least, you know, try and get us to, you know, go in a certain direction on an explanation.
Yeah.
But no, the writer doesn't even have an explanation. You know how I know that? Because reading this, I don't get any idea, any inclination towards an explanation for why the mannequins fucking woke up. So that tells me that the writer doesn't fucking know. Well, if the writer doesn't know, why the fuck is he writing a story where mannequins wake up?
Because he wanted to write one.
Then he should have known how they woke up. He's making this shit up.
Okay.
Like, obviously he knows, but, like, he doesn't even fucking try.
Yeah.
And also, fucking totally not mannequins, guys, but they're mannequins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that horse is dead, but I'm gonna kick it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he should have fucking hid it from us. Because, I mean, just
But the way he wrote it.
Use the word mannequin earlier.
Yeah.
Don't treat it like it's a fucking surprise. I'm not retarded.
Yeah.
And again, you know, trying to... it's that whole... You know, if you're trying to fucking get me with something this fucking obvious, I'm pretty sure you think I'm a moron. And I don't like that. That pisses me off more than a lot of things. So I don't like you anymore. But I never did, so now I hate you a little bit more.
So I'm gonna assume would not recommend.
No.
Okay.
No. Honestly, read World War Z.
Yeah, actually,
It's the
I
same
can get
fucking-
behind that recommendation.
It's the same fucking thing, but infinitely better.
Yeah.
Because World War Z is good.
And more variety on, like, encounters with the zombies.
Well, exactly.
You're going to hate me for this one, because I actually still would recommend this one. If only because
Of
I
course you
did
would.
enjoy
You
the
never
weird...
believe me.
No, I take all your stuff into account, but I still found I enjoyed this one, even for its flaws. And because while it's not... There's a slight amount of creepiness to it because of the mannequins, but it's more of like a weird fiction-y kind of thing to me. So I enjoyed it for that.
I say that, okay, its creepiness has nothing to do with the writing, though.
No, the writing
Any
makes
creep
it
factor
weird.
in this.
Makes it kind of just more fantastical than anything.
Well, no, it doesn't even do that, because mannequins fucking attacking, that's already fantastic. The writing has nothing to do with any creep factor here. It's the mannequins.
Yeah.
So, I just can't... There has to be a better mannequins come to life story out here, better than this.
I will try and find it.
There has to be, because I do actually, contrary to my earlier statements, I actually do understand that people find shit like that creepy. So there's gotta be more.
Alright. Well, again, I will try and find them.
But yeah, I would recommend virtually any other mannequins come to life story over this one.
Wow.
I say virtually because
You don't know
the second you say that this is the worst example of something,
if something comes up.
here's 50 more even worse examples. So, I'm not saying it's the worst. I'm just saying that it's down there.
Okay. So, we will put that dish away
Oh, fuck this one.
and go to our side dish, which is Next Time You'll Know Better. It was on Reddit's short scary stories and Creepypasta.wiki. And it's also been read by Mr.Creepypasta. And was by I Post at Midnight. So, this one is essentially... It's literally a paragraph or two long. And it's just like, have you ever just walked into a room and encountered a vampire? And then it proceeds to go into like, have you ever... And then goes along the lines of like, describing what would happen when you saw the vampire. Like, it gets up to you, using its hypnotic stare. It starts draining you, but not of blood, but of memory. And then it's like, have you ever walked into a room and seen a vampire? Well, let me put it this way. Have you ever walked into a room and could not recall why you went into that room? So it has like this creepy twist of like, oh, it's like you read the whole thing, it's like, oh, it's a vampire description of it attacking somebody. Okay, and then at the end, it's like it throws like it like kind of twists on its head a little bit, twists it on its head a bit, and it goes like, well, here's another question: have you ever just because it steals memories? Have you ever just walked into a room in your house and just realized you don't know why you went into that room? So it's like, oh, creepy, and that's it. That's the end of the story. So I enjoyed it because I liked that little twist to an otherwise repetitive and boring description of a vampire attack. Essentially, that's really all I liked about it. That's really all I can say about the story is that it had a nice little twist to vampires.
Fair enough. I'm partial to vampires, but I like my vampires to be vampires, not something different. This is a fine monster. It's just not a vampire. So don't call it a vampire. That's my stance on that.
Okay.
Also, this story is just, well, it's not a story, but this is too short.
Yeah.
It should be a story. Make this a story. Mr. I Post at Midnight, make this into an actual story. Because that wouldn't be bad. This kind of is. In my...
Yeah, no.
That's my stance on this. With these little snippet ones, like these, I don't even have to scroll down the page ones. They just...
There's potential there, but that's it.
They don't do anything for me. It's an idea for a pasta, not a pasta.
Yeah.
Again, like that's probably me being contrary to what most people who are fans of creepypastas think. So I understand that on that one I'm definitely going to be in the minority, but this is a good idea for a pasta. Mm-hmm. It does have a creep factor in it. But
it's really well described.
It would be a better story. As opposed to letting me read your idea, why don't you write the fucking story that should evolve from the idea?
Yeah, like this sounds like
and then I could read it, and then I could like it.
Yeah.
And then I could say, this is a good story, as opposed to, this is an alright idea. That's my stance on this. I mean, it gets your imagination going. Actually, no, it really doesn't, because...
For the most part, I was reading it, and I was just like, okay, another vampire. All right, you're going to describe something I've read several times in my lifetime about vampire attacks. I've pretty much it's described well, but it's stuff I've heard described about a vampire attack repeatedly.
And way better.
Oh, yeah. It was described well, but only because it's described well for how short it is.
Yeah,
and really the only cool factor about
honestly,
this is that
I think it's actually. All right, this is going to be a complete fucking contradiction, but I think the description of the attack or what have you,
whatever it
is actually too fucking wordy.
For how short it is. Yeah, no, I can see that. I can understand that.
Again,
the bulk of it
seems
is
like
that.
He's plying. It seems like he's trying to pad, the length of it.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, if you want to pad it, write the fucking story. If you want to just write the idea, don't fucking pad it. Keep it short. If you're just gonna go for that simple 10 seconds to read, here's a creepy idea. If you're gonna go for that, keep it fucking short, keep it fucking simple. You don't need, a 3-stage attack. Like we get in this. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was a 3-stage attack. And it should have just been a paragraph as opposed to 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
And honestly, it should have been shorter than either of the 2 paragraphs that are there.
Yeah. Yeah,
because then it could have been a pretty cool... It takes longer to read than the actual attack would have taken.
Yeah.
And for something like this, where it's trying to plant that creepy idea into your head, where oh shit, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
It should be quick.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, like, ooh,
It's coming.
It should be,
Yeah. And then creep fact or creep twist.
And like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, aren't you terrified now? Like, no, but you almost got me.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like that's.
Because I genuinely feel like that should be the response. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because like I've seen it, like this is starting to like I've found, like I've noticed this from some of our side orders, is that they're coming from this thread of short scary stories on Reddit that are literally about this size, like 2 to 3 paragraphs long max. And we saw it in Joys of Motherhood and a couple of other ones, but yeah, like they're now actually like there's actually a legitimate like area for them on the internet. So people just seem to, I guess it's maybe just like a place to dump your ideas.
well, and it's a pretty simple and effective thing when done properly.
Yeah.
Like I've seen these before. They can range from absolute tripe to, wow, that kind of fucking worked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read something else I'm gonna hang out on the internet for another 15, 20 minutes before I go to bed because
I don't want to deal with that.
Because I want to hang out on the internet
Yeah,
for another 15, 20
exactly.
minutes. Fuck you. I'm not afraid.
It's like when I was a kid and would like watch X-Files. It's like, I'm going to watch The Simpsons after X-Files. Not because I'm scared or nothing, but because I like to watch Homer and Bart.
But yeah, and like this one could have fallen like basically smack dab in the middle, if it had been shorter. And like again, like don't, if you're gonna go for one of those little snippet ones, like it's honestly gonna be more effective the shorter it is.
Yeah. Like if this had been a paragraph long, it probably would have been more effective. Whereas the way it's left, like as long as it is, like 2 paragraphs long, it does give you that like, all right, and now it's over. Like, and now you're like, it leaves you wondering. But then it also on the plus side, on the other flip side, it also leaves you wondering, why wasn't this? Like, I want to know more about this story, like in a story.
Yeah,
I want to see this in a like done in a scenario, for good or ill.
honestly, I think this one should have been a story. And the mannequin one would have made a better fucking snippet.
That I can agree with you on.
Because, like, then, yeah, you could have fucking maintained the twist.
Yeah, like,
almost,
especially if you're gonna go...
You wouldn't have been describing so fucking much, like, how they murdered in stores and shit. Like, you would have just, like, and then, like, oh, man, we're fucking overrun by mannequins.
Yeah, that I can definitely
Whereas
agree with
this
you on.
one, like...
This one would have been better.
Feeds on memories. And it's like, no. You got a cool creature here. You
gotta cultivate it.
I can picture it because, you told me it's one of those, like, scrawny fucking...
Nosferatu kind of things.
Yeah, one of those creepy-ass fucking comic book vampires, not, the noble, elegant Dracula ones.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I can picture it. And alright, I dig the
cool.
look. I dig the look. Oh, and it feeds on memories. Okay, well, I'm a little pissy that you're still calling it a vampire. But... now, I want it to go more.
Yeah, I think he's playing more on the etymology of vampire, because vampirism is more or less like the draining of something, not necessarily blood. I know that like blood and vampires go hand in hand, like supernaturally and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I didn't mean for actually to say supernaturally, but anyways. But yeah, like I know that's the most like common, like, and it's like innate when you think of vampire. But I mean, vampirism and vampires can be used as like for draining other things. It's just more or less for the description.
Not
Whereas
in
this one,
not in these.
Yeah.
These things are too short. These things are not the venue to try and be smarter than your audience.
Yeah,
because there's no room for it.
10 seconds.
There's no room for it.
Yeah,
it's it's so compressed that you don't have time to be smarter than your audience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I reject your possibility I reject your possibility and substitute the fact that he wasn't trying to do that because it's in this short little, form.
So what would you call it then?
An idea.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm sticking with that because, I just don't have a better word for it. And honestly, most of the time it seems like it would be a better idea for a longer story than its own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So would you recommend this one? Or...
Fuck. That's one of the more difficult questions I have to answer on this show. Because it honestly falls right smack dab in the middle. It's... I'm gonna go with yes, because it would make a better story, and it has all the information in there that you need to come up with your own story, or to come up with this story that this could have been. Whereas, yeah, for what it is, like, it's not a good example of the type of pasta it is, because it is too long, it is too wordy, it is too much detail.
For the format it's you going with?
Yeah. But at the same time, like a good example of the format it's going with, it has everything in there. Like, it has all of the needed information. But it just has too much
words.
Yeah. Just has too many words. Too much information.
Yeah.
Too much description. But at the same time, it has enough that you can kind of formulate your own story.
Yeah, because you definitely, like, it's a very clear picture of what's going on in that 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, there's no doubt in my mind that, like, we both saw the same thing.
This entire scene is taking place under a fucking spotlight.
Yeah.
But it should have been in shadowed.
Yeah.
Or in shadows. There we go. And that's honestly probably the only real gripe I have with it. Because, you know, I still like my vampires to be vampires, but...
To be bloodsuckers. Yeah.
But, you know, that's a smaller complaint than the fact that it's just too pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend this one, or at the very least, to listen to the I think 2-minute or minute-long reading that Mr. Creepypasta does.
Fuck. I honestly don't think it'd be worth fucking load.
I mean, just like if you're on YouTube, just...
Yeah, I honestly think that reading it would be better. Because when you're... I don't know, for me, when you read it, you see your own vampire. You're working inside your own head more. Yeah. Whereas when you're listening to it, I don't know. Most of the times if I'm listening to something on the computer, it's because I'm doing, like, 3 other things.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah, I would honestly say read this one over listen to it, but...
Fair enough. All right. So, I guess that was this week's episode. If you like what you heard, if you didn't, send us a comment in the comment section below where this gets posted, whether it be on Tumblr, YouTube, Facebook. We're both on Twitter, so at Dr. Leviathan and Review Cultist. We're also on iTunes, so leave us a review. That would be helpful. And you can send us an email at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTIS@gmail.com, where you can also send us suggestions for other creepypastas you'd like us to discuss on the show. And if you'd like to support us, you can donate. Go to crazonstudios.tumblr.com, where you can check out all the title cards for each episode. And on the side, there's a little donate button. So, until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
And I'm still Dr. Leviathan.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.
So, you're a jerk.
Of course. Hey man,
Could've been
this
my
isn't the
little
job
pony.
description. We read creepypastas.
What job?
For good or ill.
What job description? That implies that this is a job, which implies that we're getting paid. That we're getting paid. That we're getting paid. That we're getting paid. That we're getting paid.